they told Nehemiah, you don't have enough workers to build the wall. Now the challenge is to get workers. They told Nehemiah, you don't have enough material to rebuild the walls. Now he's got to wait for materials. They told Nehemiah, you don't have enough skilled people on your side to draw blueprints to get the wall built up. Lord have mercy. They tell Nehemiah, your time is limited. It's going to be winter soon. And ain't nobody going to work outside on no walls and get no pay. You're making a foolhardy decision. But you got to make up your mind, friends, in the midst of challenges, because they only come to distract you. They only come to get you off focus. They only come to intimidate your faith. You got to make up your mind and serve notice on the devil that I'm going to build it by faith. I don't have to have all the materials. God got to have them. I don't have to know where all the workers are. God got to know it. I don't have to have all the blueprints. God got to have the vision. All I got to do is work with the plan and don't lose focus. Serve notice on the devil that I do have faith to build it. We are a people of faith. Now that's a good point to talk to your neighbor. Say, neighbor, we are a people of faith. Talk to the neighbor on the other side and say, neighbor, I believe God. I got anybody in the room that can believe? Y'all sit down. I got a little way to go. Faith to build it is enmeshed within conflict. It's not going to be an easy thing to accomplish, but it can be accomplished. In the midst of the conflict, there will come challenges, things that you never anticipated, things that you never expected. But challenges are sent by God so that you can know that you serve a God who can do anything. Once you get past the conflict and imagine yourself in it anyhow, get past conflict and emerge through the challenge. The next thing that's going to happen if you got to build it will be confrontation. Long have mercy. There comes a time, my God, when everything in your life, right or wrong, will confront you. All the way through the book of Nehemiah, he's plagued by confrontation from the day he left, my God, Xerxes and Persia and walked onto the grounds of Jerusalem. He was faced with confrontational challenges. A confrontation like this, if it's not one thing, God knows it's another. But if you want to build a strong faith walk with God, let me talk from my experience. You've got to be willing and able to handle confrontation. You got to make up your mind. I'm going to get it done one way or the other. And if God is on my side, then there's nothing that the enemy can do to stop me from getting the job done. Nehemiah was faced with confrontational challenges. They came from within the ranks and from without. Listen to the text in the story. Sanballat and Tobiah started from the day he walked into Jerusalem. They set up, my God, meetings against him. They organized troops to walk and work against him. They made up lies and told funny stories. They aggravated and agitated every move that Nehemiah made. They were his worst critics. They were a friend, no, an enemy acting like a friend. They were wolves in sheep clothing. And every time he started, they found something wrong with the process. They even had the nerve to call a meeting and suggested that Nehemiah come down. Say, get off your post and come down. We need to have a meeting with you and discuss, my God, if you got your building permit, if you got your occupational stamp, Is everybody else in the army on your side? But Nehemiah, my God, made up his mind. You didn't hire me, and you can't fire me. I'm building this wall by faith, and I don't need your approval. When they set up the meeting and sent for him to come, Nehemiah replied, why should the work on the wall cease while I come down and try to prove to you my faith? You can't prove your faith to nobody. Faith is not something that you see. Faith is something that you do. Slap that neighbor a 5 and say, neighbor, you gotta build it with faith. My. When you are confronted with enemies, when you have the enemy on your track, you gotta make up your mind, my God. I've been through tough places before. I've been in hard spots before. I've cried over things before. So I'm willing to walk it out with God. Slap the neighbor 5 and touch the shoulder when you do it. And say, neighbor, I'm willing to walk it out with God. If you're going to build a Christian life, I got to get through. If you're going to build financial security, if you're going to have a strong prayer life and a deeper walk with God, you're going to have to face some hostile attacks that come straight from the pit of hell. Sometimes they're like Sanballat and Tobiah. They come in a human form, and other times it's ideas, other times it's actions. But you got to make up your mind. With every confrontation, I'm going to get power. Lord, help me to preach this, because confrontation and consequences of confrontational challenges can be conquered with prayer. Talk to somebody behind you and holler prayer, because when you're in the middle of a confrontation, you don't need a pity party. Lord have mercy. You need to fall down on your knees and take it to God in prayer. In the middle of a confrontational challenge, you got to learn how to pray about it, because prayer gives you power, and power, my God, will work everything out all right. Prayer relieves confusion. You don't have to wonder, will God? You don't have to wonder if God, because if you talk to God, he'll answer prayer. If you want God's best, you got to pray about it and make up your mind. I can stand the pressure, because prayer gives possibility thinking. Grab your neighbor by the hand now, shake that hand a little bit and say, neighbor, my prayer gonna give me possibility. Yes, it will. To